Next to a very large forest lived a poor woodcutter with his wife and two children. The boy was called Hansel and the girl Gretel. They hardly had any time to eat, and in a time of famine that the country suffered, there came a time when men could not even earn his daily bread. The woodcutter was in bed one night, brooding and turning, not letting his worries close his eyes. Finally, he said, saying to his wife, "What will come of us? How to feed the poor little ones? Since we have nothing left, I can think of one thing," she replied. "Tomorrow at dawn we will take the children to the
We
thickest
will
part
light
of
a
the
fire for
forest,
them.
give them a piece of bread, and then leave them alone to go to our work. Since they will not know how to find their way back, we will get rid of them." "By good woman," the man replied, "I do not do that. How can I burden myself with abandoning my children in the forest? They will soon be destroyed by wild beasts." "Don't be a fool," she exclaimed. "So do you want us for to starve? Now you can start sawing the coughing birds." And he did, stopping pestering until the man agreed. "But I felt very sorry for them," he said. "The now little brothers won't hunger always keep away." Hear what their stepmother advised their father. Gretel, between bitter tears, said to Hansel, "Now we really are lost." "Don't cry, Gretel," the boy consoled her, "and don't worry. I'll manage to get out of the way." And when the old men were asleep, he got up, put on his little joker, and went out through the back door. A brilliant moon was shining, and the white pebbles on the ground in front of the house gleamed
Hansel
like
picked them
burned up
silver.
until they could fit in his pockets anymore. Back in the room, she said to Gretel, "Fear nothing, little sister, and sleep peacefully. God will not abandon us." And
All the
went
first
to bed
line
again.
of the days before the sun rose, the woman went to call the children. "Come on, lazy people, help up. We have to go to the forest of Brifol up." And giving each one a piece of bread, he warned them, "There you have is our new but to land is before because it will not have you more." Gretel put bread under her apron because Hansel had his pocket of stone, and the 14 set out on the foreign pant. After a short while, Hansel stopped off them to them to look lowered at the house. The father said, "Hansel, do not stay been looking back. Attention like let. I am looking at the wild kid how is saying goodbye to me from the roof, replied the boy, and the woman replied, silly is not the cat but the morning sun, which is refractory in the fried piece. But what Hansel was doing was not looking at the cat, but throwing white pebbles with the low out of his pocket along the way. When they were in the middle of the forest, the father said, no gander, free boy, children, I will lead and fire of you so that you are not cold. Hansel and Gretel, gander and good bit of fried both. They prepared and boiled fried, and the wind is that burned with a live flame. The woman said, no I be the fried children and red will do go out the forest to good fried boy. When we were done well, come pick them up,
The two little
them
brothers
up.
sat by the fire, and at noon each ate his piece of bread, and because they heard the sound of the axes, they thought their father was nearby. But learned it was not the axe, but a branch that he had tied to a tree, and the wick knocked against the trunk. After a long time tree, Fake closed their eyes, and they fell fast asleep. They woke up when it was dark night. Gretel began to cry, saying, how do we get out of the forest? But Hansel consoled her, wait a little for the moon to shine when things are way. And when the moon was high in the sky, the boy taking his little sister by the hand, weakened at the pelvis, which shone like bit silver showing in the road. The walked at night, arriving at the house and down. Three was knocked of the door, and the stepmother opened the door for him. And when she saw him, she exclaimed, devil of children, what is that to stay so many hours in the forest? We thought you'd think what you back. The father, on the other hand, was glad that they had returned because his conscience condemned in for having abandoned them. Some time later, there was another time of misery in the country, and the children heard on night how the stepmother, really in bed, said to her husband, every time is over again. We only have half a loaf of bread left, and thanks it we have to get rid of the children. We will take them deeper into the forest so that they cannot find their way. Otherwise, There isn't salvage or for us. It hurt the father a lot to leave the children on the table. You better take the last bite with your children. But the woman did not want to listen to his reasons, and filled him with reproach and insults. Warren yields the first time, must also yield the second, and to the man had the
But the
courage
children
to
were still
refuse.
awake and heard the conversation. When the old man had fallen asleep, Hansel got up with the intention of going out to bathe himself with pebbles, as before, but he could not do it because the woman had closed the door. However, however, she said to her little sister to console her, "Don't cry, Gretel, and sleep peacefully. Our Lord would will help us." The next morning, the woman came to get them out of bed and gave them little piece of bread, even smaller than the previous time. On the way through the woods, Hansel crumbles the bird in his pocket and stopping from time to time, rubs groups in the group. "Hansel, why are you stopping to look back?" asked the father. "Come on, don't linger. I am looking at the little dove, which from the roof says goodbye." "Fool," the woman intervened. "It is not your dove, but the morning sun that shines in the fireplace." But Hansel was shunning groups as the stepmother left the children even further into the forest, to a place they had never been. They lit a big bonfire, and the woman said to them, "Stay here, little ones, and if you get tired, take a little nap. We go for firewood at sunset. When we're done, we'll pick ourselves up again." At noon, Gretel broke her beard, beard with Hansel, as he had spread his on the road. Then they fell asleep without anyone showing up, up to look for the poor things. They woke up when it was dark at
Hansel
night.
consoled Gretel by saying with a bit, "Little sister, for the moon to rise. Then we will see the breadcrumbs that I have spared, and that will show us the way back." When the moon rose, they prepared to return, but didn't find a single crop. They had been eaten by the thousand little bits flying through the forest. Said to Gretel, "We will find the way," but they did not find it. They walked all night and all the next day, from dawn to dusk, without getting out of the forest. They also suffered from hunger, since they had eaten
only a feed with fruits gathered from the ground, and how they feel so tired that their legs already refused to support them. Lying down the foot
of
of a
the
tree
tree
and
they
feel safe.
wanted sign the F home. They resuming their march but at time they were lost more in the forest. In something did not come to they and so they were omitted to stop it. But welled around now they saw a beautiful lit weir with and some pet on three bars and the saw so Stanley than to stop to listen to him. When he that finished the Spain is will to friend and they following him until they reached a little house or house round later and they approved. They saw that little house was made of beef and covered is sponge cake, and the windows were made of pure sugar. Look how good, exclaimed Hansel, where we can remove it, the backyard belly. We'll eat and paste of the roof. You Gretel and you Stante, the windows you will see how stained it is. The boys climbed onto the floor and buffer pressed to prove it. What he could will his little sister nipped on the glass. They then they heard and saw boys coming
The
up.
little mouse. The one that grounded my little house. But the children reply, it is wind, it is the wind that
And they
blow
continued
violently.
to eat with winged vain discord. Hansel, who saw the very dancing robe, broke off and good shook, and Gretel took out a broad round glass and stand on the group. It will too wicked. The door opened a burr and extremely old woman came. Our lane on cruise. The children were so frightened that they dropped what they were longing, but the old woman, shaking her there, said to Tim, "Hello, little ones, how are brown you? Come eat and stay with me. I won't not do you only aunt and taking time be at the used time into the little house where a sapping mill had when several milk with sugary but apples and how the he ate them to two little bed in the little closure and Hansel and Gretel lay do on them, deviling each other in
The old woman
heaven.
appeared to very good king, but in reality she was an evil witch who escaped children to handle them, and she had built the brick house for the sole purpose of attracting him. We won't feel into his power. He killed it, cooked it, and ate it. This was great feat for her. Witches have raised eyes and are very short-sighted, but on the other hand, their sight of screen is very fine, like the of animals. So time from far away they bend to presence of people. When he sent Hansel and Gretel approaching, he, had, he said to himself, which and every long they are many, they are not lost of men. He got out very early in the morning before the children got up, and sang the rest so faithful. We thus lived mostly sorrows and called the mother wedding he turned. The will be got muffling and giving Hansel which the green hand, leading into a small stall unlocked in beneath the face. The wee screamed and protested what all is meant, but it was all awesomely. Then he went to Gretel's big handbag of little girl, shake her ringing and shout at her, get up, lazy girl, go get water and cook something good for you, brother. I have him in the cell and I want he to get fat. When it's well primed, he'll hit it. Gretel began to cry bitterly, but in vain. He had to fondly the witch
Saint
command.
Hansel has been served exquisite meals, while Gretel received nothing but crab shells. Every morning the old woman would go down to the barn and say, Hansel, put your finger out, and I want to know if you are fat. But Hansel, instead to instead of the finger, would take out a little bone, and the old woman would have would add very bad icing, so strong that it was really the child's finger, and it was all wondering that he did not get fat. When after 4 weekends he saw that Hansel was stinging to skinning, he lost his patience and did not want to wait any longer. Go, Gretel, he said to the girl, get water like wherever Your brother is fat or thin. I'll eat him tomorrow. What grief for the little sister when she came with the water and now and how the tears ran down her cheeks. My God, help us, he played. If only the beasts of the forest had eaten us, and least, and least we would have died together. Enough of winning, cried the old woman. They are of
In the
no
early morning, use
Gretel have to go out to fill the cauldron with water and light a fire. We will bake bread first, said the witch. I have already have the oven and prepared the dough, and with a push we carried the poor girl in the oven. From was one great flames come out, coming at and see if this hot enough to put the broth in. The old woman commented. His intention was to close the oven door. The girl was inside, roast her and eat her too. But Gretel wished he strove to say, I don't know how to do it. How will I get in? You must have seen a more foolish creature, replied the witch. The opening is quite large. I could you throw it myself. And to prove it, she sharpened, uh, she shaved forward and struck her head in the mouth for the oven. Then Gretel, with a push, rushed her inside and, closing the iron door, pulled the bolt. There it was, the hair and screeching of the witch. What terrifying screams! But the girl ran away, and the evil sorceress had to die miserable
Gretel
for
ran to a stable where Hansel was kept and opened the door for him, exclaiming, Hansel, where are saved? The will is really that the clean you out lie and beer house gate is open. What how they of Eve and how they, they were saved around each outer necks, and what hood and kiss, and as they that nothing to friend anymore. They went through the wheat house, and in every country they of boxer full of brands and precious stores. They are born more they believe. Hansel exclaimed, filling his pocket with them, and Gretel said, I want to take something home too, and it to fling her apart with her let's go new, sighed the boys. The most great of is haunted forest. After about 2 hours of walking, they came to Light River. We can't have but it, Hansel observed. I do not see ring of walking way, nor is there any little above other gretel, but we do smoke there, and if he asks it, it will help us, and if he asks it, it will help us to cross the river. And something, ducking good ducking, mean Hansel and Gretel have reached the river. There is no ring to pass. Do you want to take it on your
Ducklet
with back?
approached, and the boy climbed on it. Benson insisted to do the same. No, repeated Gretel, it would be too heavy for Tin Duckling. Better take us on after another. The good took the saw, and when they were of the opposite shore and had walked another distance, the forest became more and more familiar to Chen until the last. They discovered the father's house in the distance. Ten ran roses in like whirling and clung to their father's neck. The poor man had not had a single hour of rest since the day he left his children in the forest. And as for the stepmother, she had died. Gretel overturned his apron, and all the parents and household sprang to the floor. Will Hansel also emptied his pocket with handfuls. The pencils are over, and henceforth the tree lives happily and Colorado. The story is over.
Next to a very large forest lived a poor woodcutter with his wife and two children. The boy was called Hansel and the girl Gretel. They hardly had any time to eat, and in a time of famine that the country suffered, there came a time when men could not even earn his daily bread. The woodcutter was in bed one night, brooding and turning, not letting his worries close his eyes. Finally, he said, saying to his wife, "What will come of us? How to feed the poor little ones? Since we have nothing left, I can think of one thing," she replied. "Tomorrow at dawn we will take the children to the
We
thickest
will
part
light
of
a
the
fire for
forest,
them.
give them a piece of bread, and then leave them alone to go to our work. Since they will not know how to find their way back, we will get rid of them." "By good woman," the man replied, "I do not do that. How can I burden myself with abandoning my children in the forest? They will soon be destroyed by wild beast. Don't be a fool, she exclaimed. So, so do you want us for to start? Now you can start sawing the coughing bird. And he did, stopping pestering until the men agreed. But I felt very sorry for them, he said. The now little brothers won't hunger always keep away. Hear what their stepmother advised their father. Gretel, between bitter tears, said to Hansel, "Now we really are lost." "Don't cry, Gretel," the boy consoled her, "and don't worry. I'll manage to get out of the way." And when the old men were asleep, he got up, put on his little joker, and went out through the back door. A brilliant moon was shining, and the white pebbles on the ground in front of the house gleamed like burnt up until they could fit in his pockets anymore. Back in the room, she said to Gretel, "Fear nothing, little sister, and sleep peacefully. God will not abandon us." And
All the
went
first
to bed
line
again.
of the days before the sun rose, the woman went to call the children. Come on, lazy people, help up. We have to go to the forest of Brifol up. And giving each one a piece of bread, he warned them. There you have is our new but to land is before because it will not hide you more. Gretel put bread under her apron because Hansel had his pocket of stone and the 14 set out on the foreign pant. After a short while, Hansel stopped off them to them to look lowered at the house. The father said, "Hansel, do not stay been looking back attention like that. I am looking at the will kid how is saying goodbye to me from the roof," replied the boy. And the woman replied, "Silly is not the cat but the morning sun, which is refractory in the fried piece." But what Hansel was doing was not looking at the cat, but throwing white pebbles with the load out of his pocket along the way. When they were in the middle of the forest, the father said, "No gander, free boy, children, I will light a fire of you so that you are not cold." Hansel and Gretel gathered a good bit of firewood. They prepared and bonfire, and the wind is that burned with a live flame. The woman said, "No say be the fried children and rest will do go out the forest to good fried boy." When we were down west, can pick them up,
The two little
them
brothers
up.
sat by the fire, and at noon each ate his piece of bread, and because they heard the sound of the axes, they thought their father was nearby. But Larry, it was not the axe, but a branch that he had tied to a tree, and the wick knocked against the trunk. After a long time, three Fake closed their eyes, and they fell fast asleep. They woke up when it was dark night. Gretel began to cry, saying, "How do we get out of the forest?" But Hansel consoled her, "Wait a little for the moon to shine when things are away." And when the moon was high in the sky, the boy taking his little sister by the hand, weakened at the pelvis, which shone like bit silver showing in the road. The walked at night, arriving at the house and down. Three was knocked of the door, and the